Universal Studios to reopen amidst virus panic? All that and more today on the Universal Eye. Welcome back to the Universal Eye, keeping an eye on the latest and greatest Universal news for you. And before we get started, don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can keep up to date and know exactly when Universal is to reopen. So we have a lot to cover here today. First off, let's talk about what Universal has been doing so far during the pandemic. So basically, Universal has continued to keep construction going. They have been formally closed for months now. They now have seemingly stopped construction. They have said that Epic Universe is being delayed. They also have already stated that Universal will be closed through at least May 31st. Endless Summer, the brand new affordable hotel accommodations that Universal has been working on, has been postponed since March 17th. We did a whole video covering when they announced that this affordable hotel was going to be built. I will have that linked up above. So amidst all this craziness of Epic Universe being delayed, construction going and not going anymore, these dates are further and further being pushed back. This is, I want to say this is the second time they've been pushed at least. The first time it was pushed to April 17th and then it was pushed to May 31st. So right now there are two projections. Either A, Universal is going to reopen in the beginning of June to match the May 31st end date, or Disney and Universal might not even be open till 2021. Yeah, those are mind-blowing differences, a huge amount of time, and a lot of time for them to be potentially sinking. It's a lot of money lost for a theme park to be closed for almost an entire year. So let's see the two sides of the coin and let's talk about who's talking about what. So first off, the first report was from the people projecting Disney and Universal not to be open until 2021 was actually a Wall Street analyst. They said that it would not be reopening probably more than likely till 2021. And the reason he stated that is because of surely the panic and the fact that we don't have a vaccine yet. They know that people are going to be very, very weary of crowds, and he's projecting that when the parks do reopen, they are gonna be at the maximum half capacity with how many people are going to be wanting to come out. People are going to be really scared. There's not a vaccine yet. People are going to be really weary of that, and they're going to be really weary of potentially getting something. And of course, it's completely understandable. It's very scary out there right now. But he was projecting that until we really get a vaccine going, people are more than likely not going to start, and the parks are more than likely not going to come back open. So now let's talk about the people who are kind of siding, or why people are siding towards potential June reopening. So as for the other side of the coin, it's coming from the Orange County Economic Recovery Task Force / the Florida State Reopening Task Force. Yeah, I know it's a lot of task forces and a lot of people. It's a little confusing, but bear with me. So they personally have put out a set of guidelines and mandates as to what would happen if these theme parks were to reopen. The guidelines are taping 6 feet apart measures in the actual attraction queues, and the staff are to wipe down surfaces at random, while the mandates include face masks for all employees, touchless hand sanitizers at park entrances, turnstiles, and attraction entrances and exits, and with there being 3 phases. Phase 1 would be running at 50% capacity, while phase 2 would be running at 75% capacity, and then if you wanted to add what there really would be with phase 3 is when you're completely reopened again and you're out of the woods and 100% capacity allowed. Some other guidelines that have come out have also been the mandate for temperature checks for all staff members, and any staff members 65 years and older to be asked to stay home. It's not a mandate, but it's something that they're going to ask them to do. Now, even Bob Iger has come out with what they might do over at the Disney company, not only just doing bag checks, but while at bag checks having to do temperature checks. Bob Iger has stated the parks will require more scrutiny and more restrictions. And that is if they reopen before a vaccine is available. So guests, quote, feel comfortable that they are safe, end quote. Bob Iger, executive chairman for the Disney company, has also stated, quote, just as we now do bag checks for everybody who goes into our parks, it could be that at some point we add a component of that, which takes people's temperatures, for instance, end quote. The Times has also reported several Disney fans forums have discussed what they say is a leaked plan for reopening Disney World that includes limited capacity, temperature checks at security, and no parades, castles, shows, or fireworks. Guests would also have to sign a form waiving liability. I think that's a really interesting twist. I think that's also probably going to be a really big important component of a lot of places actually coming after this virus outbreak. I think there's going to be a lot of legal protections put in place for the safety of a lot of businesses, and I understand because there are honestly a lot of people who are just so happy and everybody's just trying to find the middle ground. So let's take a step back here. I know that I just talked about Bob Iger, who is the chairman of the Walt Disney Company, and you might be asking yourself, well, this is the Universal Eye. Why are you talking about Disney? The reason I bring up Bob Iger is because a lot of times Universal does take a lot of their cues from Disney. If Disney is doing something, Universal's probably doing it, and the other way around. They both came out around the same time that they were going to close down. Actually, Universal coming second to Disney. So it's always been a trend that they were going to follow each other, especially if something serious goes on. So if one of them's closing for something serious, the other one probably is too. I think it's a really good indication of where Universal also might have their head at. I think it's really important to look at both sides of the coin so that we're really aware as to what's going on and what might be happening. So for now, we don't have an official date, but hopefully we do have one soon. Again, it looks like they're really leaning towards that June date, and I get it. June is a really solid time. It's a time where there's a lot of people who tend to want to come out to the parks. I'm sure there's a lot of reservations that Disney does not want to have to cancel anymore. And Universal, there's just a lot of components to this. We really need a way to boost the economy. Everybody's stuck at home and sick of it. You know, people want a place to go, and Disney and Universal really want to be the place to provide it because they're losing money by the second. It's just a really big mess. Hopefully everybody can sort it out and do it in a safe way. I know that I am way too far from the parks to go. I wouldn't want to be going anytime soon. I mean, I would in theory want to go, but I wouldn't because of the safety components. I am also more at risk personally. So I think everybody needs to weigh their options and think about things clearly before they make any big moves, whether that's the theme parks, the city of Orlando, the state of Florida, the government in general, or you at home. Please weigh your options, please listen to medical professionals, and please stay safe. I will hopefully catch you guys in the next episode of the Universal Eye when we have the next news update for you. Like I said, I hope you subscribe and keep up to date with us. And before I head out, I just want to thank our lovely helpers, tipsters, whatever you'd like to call them. And of course, I tend to always get my information from local news sources, Universal Orlando themselves, of course, but I also get a lot of information from tipsters, and that could be you sitting at home. My two amazing tipsters today, both over on Instagram, at The Park Post and at Orlando Obsessed. I'll have them linked down below. Please go check them out. They are awesome at really keeping up with everything that's going on with Universal. And if you have a tip at home, feel free to let me know over on my Instagram page at Natty Rock. I will have that, of course, linked down below for you. Let me know, anything big or small. I love to hear tips from you guys, and it's really helpful, and it's the way that this channel keeps on running. So I will see you guys in the next one. And before I head out, I just remembered, shout out to our comment of the day, and that comes from DisneyDVlogs, and he said, "Cannot wait for Nintendo Land, it's gonna be epic." I love your little pun there. He's an awesome YouTuber, go check him out. And if you want to be the comment winner, please leave a comment down below and you might just be featured next time. So anyways, this has been the Universal Eye, keeping an eye on the latest and greatest Universal news for you. Signing off. Bye guys.